Welcome back to hopefully the final episode of the Penance RPG Halloween Special 2024. This time featuring the wonderful Tales of 20-Sided. So, who are you? Where are you folks from? What do you guys do? And who are you playing tonight? Starting with Eddie.
Hey, yes, I'm Eddie, and I will be playing Melek Mel Van Deer. He is a 25-year-old tiefling who has more of an inkling with intelligence. He spent a lot of time at school. He is a bit of a nerd. He has royal purple skin and black horns that curve to the back of his head. He has adorned himself in a forest green cloak and then just a white tunic and brown trousers. He had some money and he spent it on the cloak. And he has a nice staff on his back. That's Mel.
Awesome. Do you want to tell us about the podcast?
Yes. So, we are half the cast of Tales of the 20-Sided. We are a bunch of UK-based weirdos who sit around and stream our D&D campaign every Saturday on our Twitch. You can find us under Tales of the 20-Sided. You can join us for mad quests, a kooky cast, and an unbelievable story. And you can find us on social media under most at TOT20-Sided.
Right, awesome. Next we have Martine.
Okay, I'm going to be playing Mallory Bouldercobble, which I really liked that last name, so I hope you do too. She is a halfling female, and she grew up well-educated in a well-established city, and she's very highly educated. She's much of an academic, if you will, until her city got sieged and shit, you know, that kind of scenario. So then she had to learn how to live off the land, if you will. So she's got her wits about her, but she is very much an academic and very, very well-mannered, unlike the player playing.
Don't you just hate when that happens, when your city gets sieged?
Oh, man. Every time.
And finally for this group we have Ollie.
Yeah, I am playing Thomas Moore, a old miner, oldish miner, kind of tall, long brown hair, long brown beard, but mottled, kind of salt and pepper. He's weathered with age, big guy, not the smartest. He is always brawn over brains. He's common sense over book smarts when he can.
Alright, well, those are the players. Let's begin. So as with every episode we've ever done in the 7 years of the Open Dungeon Penance RPG Halloween, you've responded to the request for work on the wall of a tavern. As you enter the inn itself as a group, you immediately see a elf and a dwarf sort of squabbling with each other, and on your right there seems to be a sort of very lazy looking man half asleep, sort of lackadaisical style, sort of sitting in the sleep. As you sort of notice, you the elf and the dwarf stop arguing, give each other one last scowl, and then run back to two different doors. The door to your left opens and that dwarf leans back out and goes, "Alright, you're coming to work for us, aye, just come this way, you know, you're coming to work for the actual miners, you know." The elf opens the door in the middle and goes, "I think you'll find you're here to work for those who actually own the mine, who can actually pay you, so come this way." And far around to the right, the lackadaisical man very lazily points at a sign next to him that says Union, and he says, "You know it's right." Where would you like to go?
Okay, so I just want to preface, right, in terms of our group and why we're here, so I've got this pinned down, right? So basically, Mallory and Mel are two academics we met through the avenue of academia, and we are wanting to research, graphite and in the mines and, all these good things. We want to really get our hands dirty.
Make our mark on the academic community on this very important subject of graphite.
Yes. So we decided to team up with Tommy, who we know is very well equipped in that kind of area. So that's how we've all gotten to know each other. So just so we're on the same page, Okay, on that note, well, I suppose, I don't know. What do you think, Mel?
Well, I think morally it makes sense for us to perhaps go with the Union. But at the same time, some extra gold wouldn't be too bad. There's some books I have seen my eye on that I would quite like. So, maybe the elves as well.
I think you're right. Tommy, what do you think?
Not a lot.
Okay. Well,
You hired me as muscle. You two are supposed to be the brains here.
Mallory looks to Mel and then sort of looks back at the doors.
I looked to Mal and then looked to the doors.
Well, I
I
suppose
suppose
ethically,
ethically that the union makes sense.
yes, agreed.
Perhaps we can get some ideas for a union at the university.
Of course, that would be wonderful.
You going to go talk to the union man?
Yeah.
So you walk towards the union man. As you sort of standing right next to him, he finally leans up, lifts the hat off his face, and he goes, "Oh, alright." Puts his hat on, stands up, stretches like a cat, and then walks into the door next to him.
I suppose we should follow him.
You follow him through, you have a seat at the table. He closes the door after you. He sits down at the table and he goes, "Alright, well, so we're the union. Right, we don't actually pay you, but we help you and sort of get away your, quality of life stuff. So we're quite early on. We don't have the most things in advance, but the best thing to understand is that if you donate to us every month, then we make sure you get a coffin if anything happens to you."
Is there a chance that something could happen to us?
Oh, mines are dangerous places. There's always a chance. And it's always important to make sure that if anything happened to you, you get a coffin.
Oh,
I look at Mel.
I sort of rummage through my little coin purse that I have attached to my belt. I've only brought enough for like 2, maybe 3 cakes, perhaps.
Oh, well it's alright. You can, he just shuffles through his desks. Basically what we'll do, right, is you pay us at the end of the month, you just sign up here, we just take a little bit of money off your payment. Oh, he just takes up this very small 6-inch long, very crudely made pine coffin, sits on the table and goes, "That's a sample. So you sign up now, and if anything should happen to you, we'll take your payment, and then you can get this small coffin. Although you get a bigger one, obviously, but this is the example."
Excuse me, sir. You mentioned quality of life as part of this membership. This all seems to be quality of burial.
Well, no, burial. Oh, you want the advanced plan then? 1 second.
Oh, no, I
His desk and he pulls out and goes, "The advanced plan, right, here we go." He shuffles this very thick wad of paper, so it's at least 3 times as thick as the other one. He goes, "Oh, not many people want the burial plan. Alright, well, here it is. If anything should happen to you, you don't only get a coffin, but you get buried too."
So in the basic plan, we just deposited into the coffins.
You get put under a coffin.
Then,
what happens to you after that, I'm afraid, is up to them. But you get a coffin.
Again, this all does seem to be quality of death.
Oh, well, we're very early on in the union, you see, and we've when we started out, when we were sort of looking for what people want, we heard lots of things, people want this kind of thing and that kind of thing, and then we struck up a small deal with this local woodworking firm, and they offered to do coffins, so we sort of brought that in as a sort of starter thing, and for now, if you sign up the union, you get a coffin. Hopefully in future, we can do other things for you as well, but for right now, we're just looking for coffins.
Have you thought about safety standards in the mine? So there wouldn't be so many coffins.
If the worst should happen in safety standards, you're gonna want a coffin. I mean, not everyone sees the big rock that kills them, sir.
Oh,
How many coffins have you actually had to use?
We've only been going for 3. Oh, that's a good point, though. And he just ruffles through his desk and pulls out a list of names. He goes, "Right, are you really good at finding people?"
Aye.
Yeah, see, this is what I thought. I've worked in mines before. You've not got much clientele for coffins when you're trapped in a collapsed mine.
You see, we've had to only have to deliver 3 so far. But you see, we've got this list of names here, and it just passes you this list. It's about 50, 60 names long. All of these gentlemen here, or gentlemen and ladies, of course, have signed this thing for working in the mine. But the problem is, a lot of them have, they sort of gone missing. And I don't think it's all about collapsing mines, because we've not heard of many disasters. But in the 6 weeks we've been working, a lot of these people here, and just puts a very pudgy finger on it, well, we can't seem to find them anymore. So,
And you're saying they've gone missing down in the mine?
Well, I don't know if they've gone missing. They might have just, scarpered, as it were. But these are the people who've all signed for coffins. We measured all of them. And we've got these coffins lying around, but they want to use them. So if you were really good at finding people, we appreciate it. We can't really offer you any kind of financial reward, but we can give you a spare coffin.
I mean, I'm pretty good at finding books in the library. I mean, how much different can it really be?
Oh, exactly. All you need to do is ask people their little code thingy, Jake. That'll be do it, aye.
Mel, let me handle this.
Oh, right, yes.
We'll find your people for you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
For a discounted membership, 6 months free
Oh.
each.
Oh, well, I suppose if you find a good chunk of them, that will get us money back as well, won't it? Alright.
Exactly.
Okay, I suppose that's a fair deal. I could do that.
How many people are actually part of the union who aren't missing?
Oh. Well, there's this lot.
Does he say that pointing to us?
No, he's pointing to the list on the thing.
They're
There's a longer
missing.
list somewhere. Don't, just a minute, and he almost to his desk again. He pulls it, and it's almost identical, and he goes, "Oh, this is the list here."
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a master of deduction, but this is the same list of people, is it not?
Well, it might appear such. He desperately scans both, trying to find the name that's not on both. This one here. He's there. He died. We had to give him his coffin. I remember him because he fit in one of the small ones because he'd been incinerated. I remember that.
The elves in the room next door. They're the owners.
Oh yeah. The elves own the mine now. Yeah, they took over the dwarves about a month ago.
How have they responded to the union?
Well, we only started up with the dwarves, you see, and those dwarves, they weren't happy about it, but they sort of saw it as a way to find more people to work in their mine. And by people we mean humans, you see, because they had a lot of dwarf workers, and they were looking for more sort of hired help from, the sort of human side. That's where we came in. The elves themselves, since taking over the mine, well, they've sort of been like, happy to hire anyone, so we're not as called upon as we were.
Is there anyone actually working in the mine?
Oh yeah, there's not as people working in the mine, don't worry about that.
But to just dwarfs?
No, since the elves took over, they've got elves and dwarves and humans working in the mine. They used to just be dwarves and humans, right? But then dwarves gave the mine away, as it were. But then the elves took over. If you look here, he points to the sort of top couple of names. All of these names here, they went missing when the dwarves still owned the mine. Then it sort of went down a little bit because the ones that were still members, like the one that he keeps pointing to that he can recognise was dead. Because he was when the elves just took over and the sort of limits went down a little bit. There was like 10 names there, and then this lot has been started up again recently, and they've all sort of started going away again. So the people signing up has started being quite high, and then dipped a bit. And now that it's been a little bit longer, the elves have won the mine's going back up again. So let's just get to it now before it starts getting a problem.
Why did the dwarfs? Why did they sell?
Well, you see, the dwarves themselves will tell you they didn't sell at all. But it was their great-grandfather, you see. On his deathbed, he said that he didn't want the dwarves to keep going with the mine. He wanted it to go with the elves. Don't know why he did that. No one's exactly sure why he did that, especially the dwarves. It's sort of a sore subject if you ask him. So the problem the dwarves have is there's no gold and gems in that their mine, at least not there been for a long time. But the elves want this graphite that's there, because they want to make them drawing tools and stuff like that.
It's a very valuable tool. We're writing a paper on it.
You got a sample, perhaps?
The versatile nature of graphite is quite astounding.
Oh, well, I've got the interest. You should go speak to them elves. Whereas the dwarves are, the dwarves take things very personal. They don't like the fact that there's these elves in their mine. Don't like the fact that the elves are digging what they consider to be soft material in the, graphite, which is not as sort of hardy as dwarves would like to be digging. And dwarves are.
Yeah, of course. Well, I suppose we should go and talk to the elves, maybe?
Would you like to sign up for any of the coffin plans?
6 months free, remember?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Do you want the cheap one or the burial one?
If it's free, the burial one.
Alright, okay, no problem. Burial one. I've just signed your names here, and just pushes a bit of paper over to you.
Of course. Mallory pulls out a very pretty ink and quill. And
oh, you're a calligrapher. That's nice.
Yes, I've dabbled in it a little bit. And she signs her name very, very extravagantly.
Are we signing our names like like a list of members or like on a contract?
On a contract.
Can I read it?
Contract basically just says, very lawyer speak, but at the end it basically just says, if any accident should become of you, you'll be given a coffin, and your one, compared to the other one, just says, and you will be buried in a plot of land, brackets, as to be determined, close bracket.
I'll take out a fine graphite pencil.
Alright.
And
Tommy just takes the quill out of Mallory's hand and just signs Tommy, but like a child. So just T-O-M-M-Y.
Does Mallory react to the crunching sound?
Yes, absolutely. She sort of winces every time she hears it, like almost scratching against the table underneath. And then she quickly, after he sort of pulls away, quickly snatches it back out of his hand and just almost saddeningly looks at the destruction that's become of the beautiful quill.
I'll see if I can fix it later. Now,
That would be lovely.
I know that quill meant a lot to you. Your mother gave it to you on her deathbed.
Yes, she would. Never mind.
I pat you on your back.
Just for writing, right?
Let's go speak to the elves.
Alright, so you get up and he goes, oh, would you like this coffin? And he sort of offers you the little 6-inch wooden coffin. You can tell all your friends about it and show people, get us business.
I'll take the coffin.
Alright, so he hands you this 6-inch, very cheaply made pine coffin.
Disintegrates into your tongue.
Yeah.
Tell your friends that the union's always accepting people.
We will.
You open the door and immediately the elf and the dwarf jump back about 6 feet. They both give each other a awkward look, then the dwarf goes, we just, we thought we heard a mouse.
If you wanted to join the meeting, you could have done.
Oh, it's fine, laddie, it's fine. It's fine. But if you want to come this way and properly talk about business... And the elf just sort of looks down at the dwarf and goes, I think they want to talk actual business, and I can't help but think they said they want to talk to the actual owners, the elves.
So you did hear us?
Oh, no, I didn't hear anything.
We could have a meeting together, perhaps.
The dwarf and the elf just shoot each other like very foul glances, and they go, I think it's fine that we don't.
You seem to be fine standing next to each other, listening in.
And the dwarf just goes, I think it's better that we don't.
Maybe we could do this individually. It's too much drama. Otherwise.
Of course.
The elf and the dwarf just slowly start backwards, walking towards their doors, and they both kind of gesture as they walk this way. What would you like to do?
Lead on, kind elf, sir.
You walk over and you walk through the door next to the elf. The dwarf looks a little bit crestfallen, but he's just like, oh, it's fine. And the elf goes, I'm no listening. How would I do that?
If past evidence is anything to go by, yes.
I'm hurt. As the door is closed, you just see the elf roll his eyes as he just follows you all through. Sits down at the table. There's an elf currently sitting at the table. And as you approach, he goes, oh, hello there. Welcome to working for a wonderful brick-maned mine. What is it I can help you with? You're here to come work for us, yes? You're coming to do mining, yes?
Of course, that's why we're here. We'd very much like to hear about your ethics in terms of employment, because, well, the union...
our ethics for employment is that everybody deserves a fair shake at the mining pick. Yes, that'll do. Yes, everyone deserves a fair payment and fair thing for their work. So everyone gets paid the same amount, a certain amount a day. And then every minecart full of graphite that you provide us, or a sack full of graphite, as it were, we will pay you extra for. Just make sure that you make a note with it with our employees down in the refinery, and they will pass on to us that you have reduced the quota.
Mallory sort of looks towards Mel and Tommy and sort of almost has like a little, okay, sort of look on her face.
Mel will nod back at you. Oh, yes.
So you look quite academic compared to most gentlemen or ladies we get in these days. Would you describe yourself as well-educated?
I don't like to brag.
Well, I mean, if any of my qualifications, but no, We won't go into that.
We have spent a significant time.
I actually have a replica of my certification.
And I just happen to have my qualifications here.
Scholars are appreciated. Tell me, we had a small opening for some additional work. Find out first of all, are you superstitious by nature?
I mean, I wouldn't say so.
In what way? As in,
If I were to say the word ghost to you, would you immediately go, oh, that's poppycock? Or would you immediately go, oh, no, I don't get involved in that?
there's been some very interesting studies in the subject of ghostology.
I'll do it.
Ghostology. I really scrambled for a name.
Ghostology, eh? Oh, the words I've never heard.
But I suppose the more academic one might be paranormology.
Paranormology. Oh, that sounds very fascinating. I'd love to have. These modern people learning things at universities I wish I could have done when I was a child. Well, you sound like you may have your head on your shoulders, especially if you can use this new paranormalology approach. You see, we have a small, potential spectre problem in the mine. You see, according to a lot of the dwarves, there's been sightings of this ghoul, and it's causing many problems with our workers. You see, they seem to stop working because this ghost's there, and he's doing little ghost things, you know, like blowing out lanterns and rattling chains. Nothing too worrisome. But your problem is it's getting in their heads. And we also keep finding dwarves that have passed out. You know that old wives' tale about the hair going white and, you know, they're going insane from seeing some Oni or whatever kind of ghoul you're talking about. But that seems to be happening. Now, we're not sure if this is just old dwarves falling over, which is quite probable, or whether there's actually some meaning or point to it all. So we'd like somebody, or at least a group of academics who are well-versed in paranormalology, to go down there and sort of, dig up what they find. How does that suit you?
Put it plainly, you've bought yourself a cursed mine.
Well, we can't prove it's cursed. None of the elves have seen this ghost, and the dwarves.
And would we receive compensation?
Oh, you would be very well compensated. To put it full honesty, it's affecting our bottom line, so anything that can reduce that would be thoroughly appreciated.
Well, that would get me more than 3 or 4 cakes. She sort of leads into Tommy and Mel and sort of says, what do you two think?
I think the dwarves are fucking with him.
It does seem odd that they are the only ones who have seen this spectre. I suppose it could be a racist ghost. It's only picking on the dwarves.
Perhaps. Do you think it's worth speaking to the dwarves first before we make a decision?
It might be. If they're the ones who are seeing this being, they might be able to tell us where to look.
Good idea. Let's go!
Really good.
Being there, of course, well, I do hope that you would consider our offer. If you do end up...
He sort of looks at the other elf, and the other elf replies,
Dealing, sir? Yes, dealing with those, cool friends out there. If you do end up dealing with them, just remember that if you can deal with this ghost, just come and see us and let us know that it was yourselves, and we will make sure that you are compensated correctly. If you are looking to research this further with the ghost problem, speak to any of the guards. He opens a small drawer and takes out these small brooches and he slides them across the table towards the 3 of you. And he goes, just show that to any of the guards. They'll be far more responsive to you for having such things. It's like a brooch that looks like a leaf with a hammer on it.
That's what is the best people to speak to about the missing people.
Thank you very much.
So thank you.
As we walk out, Mallory was sort of turned to the other two and she's sort of like saying, I think I kind of prefer the elves so far.
A little bit.
As you open the door, the dwarf's like halfway there and he freezes in place as if he was just about to make his way over to listen, but didn't get there before you stopped. He's just like, hi. I was just tying my laces there.
You don't have laces?
Yes. And he just gets back to his feet and goes, obviously, I was just bowing towards you all. Obviously, you're respectable.
Thank you. I bow to.
He sort of gently just bows again. He goes, right, well, if you'd like to come this way, we can talk properly, business and all that.
Yes.
So as the elf walks away, you just hear the voice go, should I listen in, sir? Oh, I don't think they're going to follow that much, Jessup. I don't think the dwarves can offer them anything. Very well, sir. And the elf just closes the door. You walk in to the dwarven let you in. There's like 3 or 4 more dwarves inside. They fix you with basic drinks and food. Food's not great, but it's better than anything else you've had so far.
We haven't had any food for the others, so...
I mean, if it was me playing as the player, I mean, that would have won me over.
So you sit down at the table, the dwarves go, right, welcome, we've just got a few wee things to do. Like, so we're also looking for hired workers. We'll properly match any offer that the elves have made, because, we're looking for actual workers. He again sort of keeps to the side, glance towards the door, and he goes, so I assume you're familiar with the backstory of Kinbanog?
To an extent, please do share your version.
Yes.
The elves may have referred to it as Brig Manid. It's actually the Mountain of Kinbanog.
Oh.
He sort of looks all of you, none of you seem to recognise anything. So, right, okay, well, my family, I'm Alexander Bannock. I'm the chief heir, or would have been, of the Mountain of Kinbanog. The elves have taken over this mine from us, against the will of the family, and have renamed it, or rebirthed it, as it were, as Brig Manid. Just got some elven name. I don't really follow where they got it from, but I don't need to. So, the elves have retaken this mine and have opened it to start mining graphite. Not looking for gold, not looking for gems, not looking for wealth. Graphite.
I imagine Mallory's eyes sort of twinkles as he says that, but she can tell that he's got a bit of disdain to it, so she sort of holds back a little bit.
A little bit of seething coming from this. Hard-working dwarves going into a mine to mine graphite. Anyway, standing by. So we're looking to see if there's any legal standpoint that we can reobtain our mine. One of the only real ways that is left is if there's any gold or jewels we discovered in the mine, you see. But that's a clause that Grandpappy left in, that if the mine should rediscover its wealth, the dwarves would be first in line to retake the mine, as it were. So we're looking for workers to go in the mine, to mine this graphite, and see if they can find a gold vein or something around it, He sort of looks you over, makes a sort of assessment of you, and then he just slips his hand in his top pocket, and goes, so hopefully, if we hire enough workers, they will eventually find some, gold or stuff behind one of these graphite veins. And then they'll let us know. And he just puts his glass vial with his hand on top of it on the table. And he goes, so if there were gold to be discovered, you'd have to reward those who discovered it really, really well, properly give them the fortunes that they're deserved. Slides this vial with his hand on top over towards you. And the elves would not be able to question it because, the gold was found organically in the mine. You understand?
Mallory just goes, are you...
He just takes his hand away from the vial and you see it's just full of little gold shrapnel. And he goes, if the gold were to be discovered in the mine, I mean, legally the elves would not be able to object, as it were. But of course, we couldn't just, find gold. It would have to be found in a graphite vein on the lower dig sites, if you understand what I mean. And he starts nodding at you, looking at the vial.
Mallory just looks at Mel and shakes her head like, a bribe? It's unfathomable. I couldn't do it.
This does seem a little underhanded, sir. I mean, they were given the mine, were they not?
Well, the elves were given the mine by my grandfather. My grandfather must have gone mad. I mean, what kind of dwarf gives away his heritage mine? Especially to some elves.
Yeah, but as you said, there's graphite left in the mine. What's it worth to you?
I mean, if the dwarves were to recontrol the mine, I'm sure we could arrange something to farm that graphite out and sell it on. But, it's an ancestral home to the dwarves. There's 70 members of the Bannock family that have now been made homeless by this recent change, as it were.
Other than this questionable business dealing, Was your grandfather in a good place mentally?
Well, we thought he was, but then he, on his deathbed the last few days called for this, agreement to be made and the mind to be passed. Didn't he tell his family or any of his heirs why he changed his mind, as it were? All he insisted is the family was deposed from the mine. That's why many of us find ourselves in this nearby town and not under the mountain where we belong, as it were.
Is he a gambler?
No, not really. The one here, we race with the lower dig sites, he would gamble on that, but no enough that he'd be a whole mine out, if you know what I mean.
Anything down there?
Well, graphite, as far as you're aware.
You know what I'm talking about. Stories.
As far as I'm aware, there's nothing down there, but I've only been disposed of the mine for about a month now, and I don't know what's changed in that month. But when I was there,
Must have-
nothing in the lower levels that would be considered worrisome, as it were.
Must have had rumours. Mine's a superstitious bunch.
Perhaps he was scared of the ghost.
Ghost? What are you talking about, laddie? There's no ghosts in any mine. What kind of ghost would haunt a mine of all places?
Do I think he's telling the truth?
He seems genuine, but you can roll and bluff and see if you spot anything more. Or awareness.
I'll get awareness. Wait, that is unfortunately a 5.
He seems completely genuine. He seems to be laughing it off a little bit more than someone that would think it was a problem.
It's just, we heard from the elves next door that there's a bit of a ghost problem.
Hang on, the elves think there's a ghost? Oh, Jimmy, we're in there. You may know that, we're going to do something with that. So, don't mind me. Don't mind me.
Apparently it's tormenting the dwarven miners.
Oh, may I know that?
It's
dwarves, aye.
turning their hair white.
The hair white, right. Put that down. We can know that. We'll do something with this. I don't believe anything like that. No, nothing there. But if there was a ghost problem, did the elves say that they'd leave? Did they sound that they would consider leaving if there was a ghost? Because, I mean, if there is...
No.
So I've looked at the dwarf, and the dwarf is frantically writing notes. And he's like, the elves thought they'd leave. That's a great idea. Why didn't we think of that? Why didn't we think of that? Right, thank you for that. Well, remember yourselves if this works.
Glances at Mal and Tommy, just like, I don't know what just happened.
Mallory just looks just as confused. I don't know what to say.
Didn't mention that they would leave if the ghost thing would solve itself. Just that they wanted it gone.
Well, if it gone, so if it got worse, they'd maybe consider. Well, definitely take note of that. We'll definitely do something with that. Right. But, I mean, did they say what kind of thing this ghost took? Was it like a big monstery thing with horns? Was it like a wee fella in a sheet? What kind of thing we talked about? I mean, just hypothetically speaking, but if we were to, put a couple of sheets over some friends and run around, would that be enough to make it like a ghost? Or?
They were mute on what it looked like.
Right,
Don't think it would work.
Still work with this. But I hope you consider that we are looking for proper workers. And he just goes back down to the vial with the gold shrapnel in it. If the gold were to be found in the lower levels, it would be very appreciative for the dwarves. Not that we won't. He looks to the other dwarf, and the other dwarf nods, and he just leans over, takes a small bag of gold, and just very quietly puts it on the table. Leans in and goes, "For your ghost idea." Pushes it towards you, and he goes, "But we're looking for proper workers for the mine, aye."
Tommy's going to take the bag of gold, and he's also going to take the small vial of things, and we'll consider your offer.
Wonderful. I mean, if you find the gold in the lower levels, of course, it's hard work, hard graft, but, we would very much respect you and be grateful for you if you were to find it.
Some of us aren't shy of our graft. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I believe I'm offended.
But perhaps we should go.
Yes, that sounds good.
Alright, so the dwarf goes and opens the door for you, and you walk back out. About 10 minutes later, a cart turns up, and you all kind of board, and it takes you on this long, winding journey up towards this mountain. I guess the early evening, you go towards this sort of final hill towards this hamlet, in the very shadow of this gigantic mountain. And as you pass this beautiful dwarven sign that says the Mountain of Kinbanog. Kinbanog has had a line drawn through it, and Brik Manid has been written in fine elvish font beneath it.
Does either word Like, are they just named, or do they mean something in the language of either species?
As a scholar, you would realise that Kinbanog basically just means, the family of Banog's mountain. The Elven one, it probably means something in Elvish. Not really sure what it means, but it means something in Elvish. Do you have any experience in dealing with Elf?
I've got linguistics. Are all the good magic books written in Elvish at the university?
Some
That's fine.
Somewhere it basically just means, I think it's something like it means Elven Mountain or something like that.
Most of them are so
No one's
petty. Both of these races are so petty. I just thought perhaps either name might suggest something like, I don't know, if the dwarves had named it fucking Ghost Mountain, it might link something to the ghost spirit. Or the doomed spirit.
Definitely always going to be something like that. I think if I remember right, it does mean something like, it's like something to do with sun and something to do with mountain. Again, no one's asked, so I've never got to remember it, so.
The dwarves want us to go to the lower levels. The elves want us to solve the ghost issue. Did they mention what level that seems to be the biggest issue on, or is it just like a mine issue?
They just mentioned it as a main issue. So you go over this mountain, you land in this small village, have a very quiet night in the inn. The next morning you awaken and you see a lot of elves and dwarves and humans making their way towards this particular place, so you follow. And they are all getting on this very crude looking steam train. As you take the train itself, it takes you deep into the mountain, and it goes 10 minutes into pitch black, and eventually just bursts into this very brightly lit part of the mine. And as you disembark from the train, you see that the level you're on has a bunch of stalls from various vendors renting and selling mining equipment. You see a dwarf with a clipboard, it looks like he's counting flagstones. You see a bunch of elven guards just walking around, sort of watching over everyone, directing people where they want to go. And you see a bunch of workers standing around what looks like two massive holes in the ground. What would you like to do?
I'm going to need some equipment.
Of course, yes. Let's go and speak to the vendors then, I suppose.
Okay. You walk up to the first stall. It's manned by a tabaxi with quite large floppy ears, and he goes, hello there. Hello, my friends. You're here to, yes, you want wonderful equipment. Yes, I rent the best equipment possible. Yes, just tell me what you want. Tell Patches what you want.
I need a pickaxe, and I need some steel stakes.
Oh, I can get them for you, no problem at all, my friend, no problem. He pulls out a very fine-looking pickaxe, he puts it down, brings out some stakes and puts it in his. He goes, yours for, you look quite fine, you look a hardy worker, yes, you can pay me about, let's say 2 gold a week, you pay me for this, yes.
1 gold a week.
Oh, you break Patch's heart. I mean, Patch's a big family of cats back home. He needs to send money back. I mean, 2 is a reasonable price. No, what is just 2? Maybe 1 gold and some silver. We compromise?
1 gold, 5 silver.
You break Patch's heart. Patches has worked long and hard to have this wonderful stall, and look at the splinters on this bit. The stall is not coping. I need money to keep it going. 1 gold, 15 silver.
1 gold, 10.
You drive a hard bargain. 1 gold, 11.
Deal.
Yeah, he shakes your hand and gives you the equipment. He takes the gold off you, and he just quite happily goes, right, and the rest of you, yes. I mean, Patches has had a long, hard life. Patches could really do with your custom.
You might need something to cover your finery.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea.
Patches has just for you. And he buffers my hand, pulls out these massive, incredibly dusty-looking ponchos. He goes, yes, you like, yes.
Are those used?
This one was used, but this one, and he pulls one almost exactly identical, is completely new. Not been worn by anybody, no one at all, no. It just dusts.
Is it still dusty? Oh.
some hair and blood off the edge of it. No one at all. No. Patches would not lie.
I sort of look at Mel. Sort of like a, yeah, alright then sort of look. And then looks back at Patches. And how much is that?
This was a long family heirloom to Patches. Could not let go for less than 5 gold. It was my own mother's, my very own flesh and blood.
Tommy's just going to let the flat side of the pickaxe just slam on the table.
Oh, my friend, you are destroying Patch's store.
Mallory
With
just sort
the
of looks
hard
down
sell.
at she looks down at her finery and looks back up and goes, I mean, I could spare 3 gold.
3 gold for a family heirloom of Patches. He sort of glances over at Tommy and goes, but Patches understand, yes. You said you wanted 2 of them, though, yes? I mean, Patches would be hard-pressed to let the 2 of them go for less than 6.
Mallory will lean in enough so that Tommy and Mel cannot hear, and she'll go, cut the bullshit, pussycat. Let's do
Bullshit.
4 gold.
Patches does not bullshit. Anyone will tell you Patches is a loving, caring Tabaxi who is just looking for growth for his poor family.
I'll give you 4 gold, and that's it. Alright?
For 1?
She sort of raises her eyebrows.
For 1? Yes.
She turns around to go walk away.
5 for the 2. 5. But she's cutting his own throat.
She puts the gold down on the table. Puts down 5 gold.
Okay. Takes the gold from it, gives you the scar, eats off, puts it there, and he goes, oh, yes, thank you.
Mr. Patches,
Oh, yes, my friend, yes, what can I do for you?
I was wondering if you've heard anything about the ghost problem in the mine.
Oh, Patches has just the thing. And he just goes by and he pulls at this vial of what looks like some kind of oil with something floating in. He goes, this is ghost repellent. This will do all the best. It was coat your clothes in this, you will have no problem ever again. No ghost, no.
Can I examine it?
Yeah.
Can I identify what this oil is?
Yes. So
What is
you
it?
don't need to roll, you know immediately as it's just some sort of like frying oil. And what's floating in it is obviously bits of some kind of like debris, like bacon debris or something.
I shake it a bit, and I look back to Patches. I don't think you're being very honest with me.
Patches only sells the finest goods. He would not sell anything trash. No.
I don't think this is ghost repellent. Why would you try to sell me it if it's not?
He rummages behind the desk and he pulls out 2 more jars full of the same kind of stuff and he puts them on the thing and he goes, oh, I mean, this is entirely the best stuff. Excuse me a second. And you just see him drawing something. You're saying there's a ghost problem in the mine, yes?
Yes.
He leans round, he just puts a small sign on his front thing that says, ghost repellent 3 gold. And he goes, don't worry, I had 2 gold for you for finding you, for telling me about this.
I put out my hand.
Wonderful. Well, you take your small vial and you have a good day. You have a great.
I give him back the vial.
You have a wonderful day, and Patches will use you the word friend over there. Have you seen the ghost? There's a ghost down there, apparently. Come here, this stuff will keep you very clean.
Mallory sort of looks, she grimaces at the ghost repellent. I don't know if I would have gone with that purchase, but let's carry on.
I haven't purchased it.
Oh, did you not? Oh,
I
thought
gave
you
it back.
did. Oh, I
He was
think
so
that's...
engrossed in getting someone else in that might actually buy it. I don't think he was that fussed whether you bought it or not.
Oh, I think that was the best choice.
I'm not entirely sure what just happened. I just wanted to know if there was ghosts.
Be careful around these mining vendors. There could be snake oil salesmen sometimes.
At this point, you just hear
Oh?
snake oil. What is this? Is this something new that I have yet to hear from? What is snake oil? You tell Patches.
I gesture towards the cooking oil.
That stuff in your jar.
Oh, the ghost repellent. Oh, no snake at all. No. Patches would never do so inhumane as to kill snake for this. No. I have even said
just
the strong pork smell that ghosts repel the most. They do not like the pork.
As a scholar of paranormology, that's not the right repellent.
Paranormal.
everyone knows it's beef.
If you say. Oh, we'll do something with this. Thank you.
Oh, and it's mixed with horse urine.
Horse.
But
Has to be fresh.
but not just fresh, straight horse urine. It must be swirled around in the mouth before it's deposited into the repellent.
Oh, I see. Well, do not know where we would get horse from. I have an idea. Don't you worry. You help. Yes. You help Patches. And Patches just scarpers off somewhere.
Should we go?
Yes, I think.
Let's leave him before he comes back stinking of piss.
Yes. Shall we?
We had some professors like that.
Oh God. Perhaps
You're about to smell some miners like that.
we go speak to the guards.
That seems like a good idea, Mal.
So you walk up to one of the guards. He goes, "Hello there. Can I help you?"
Good afternoon.
I think he's morning technically, but whatever's fine with you. I don't mind.
Sorry, my watch is broken. My sundial is broken. What is this hole?
Oh, the hole. Oh, that's just the lift. Don't worry about it. You'll activate shortly. You'll know it when it starts. The whole floor will go kind of weird and shaky.
Oh, well, we're new workers, actually.
Oh, wonderful. Well, welcome to the mine. Hope you found everything. If you need any equipment, just feel free to go to the equipment room downstairs and just take it from that. You don't have to pay for anything.
Oh, thanks. She's sort of like a bit flustered now.
Mel whispers to Mal, saying, "Show him the badge."
Yes, I pull out the brooch.
Oh, wonderful. They finally found someone to work for it. Oh, wonderful. Right, well, you're here to deal with the and he sort of looks around. He leans in and goes, "The ghost problem, yeah?"
Yeah. Could you tell us a bit more about what's been going on?
Yeah, sure. Well, basically what's been happening, right, is this ghost... Well, I've not seen this ghost, right, because I only work up here. None of the elf guard work down the lower floors. We've not been told to yet. We're just really working this floor. But I've heard from the lower floors, right, that these dwarves are getting scared by this ghost. And every hour we have to send someone down to the lower floors to pick up all these dwarves that have been scared stiff and passed out. So, I don't really know what's going on, but all I know is we keep getting these dwarves ending up in the infirmary that are like scared stiff and their hair's gone white and all this kind of stuff. And I've never heard a dwarf cry for his mother before, but apparently that's very common now.
Oh, so would you say they're petrified?
Oh, kind of actually, yeah, now you say it. It's probably a good way of describing them. They're sort of lying face down, you see, and just sort of babbling.
Have they recovered?
I don't really know, you see. They go to the infirmary and then the infirmary sort of deals with them. As far as I understand, they're just getting overblown with it because they don't really do anything. They just kind of take up a bed, or under a bed as it were.
Mallory just pulls out a small piece of parchment and she pulls out a quill from earlier and she almost goes to write down petrified but then realises the state of the quill and sort of just sighs a little bit and puts it back in her pocket.
I hand Mal a pencil.
You're ever so kind, Mel. And I sort of grab it and just make a couple notes.
That's fine. Well, basically if you need anything else, just come find us. As far as I understand, most of the ghost problem's been in dig site 1, but most of the dwarves that are passed out are in dig site 2. So I'm not really sure if the ghost is like, I don't know, wandering between the two, or if he's just sort of in one or the other, but most of the dwarves have been complaining about, working conditions because of this ghost that are in dig site 1, whereas the unconscious ones are found in most in dig site 2.
Could it be two different issues?
I mean, it could be, but it seems very weird that we have, this kind of problem in two different places. It seems like it's probably the same one that's complaining over.
Any of them from Dig Site 1 been petrified?
I'm not really, no. See, Dig Site 1's the one that, the dwarves had mostly dug out before we got here. Dig Site 2's been the one we've sort of been experimentally working on. It started out as a lot smaller and we've sort of been digging out,
And you're certain that there's no elves or humans that have been petrified or seen?
I've not seen any humans, no. You don't get many elves working down the lower floors. You only see one or two. I mean, apart from that weird half-elf that works in your equipment room, we've not really got many down there.
What makes him weird?
He's half-elf, half-dwarven, you see, but he's like normal elf, but he wears this fake beard. It's a bit of a weirdo. He can't grow a beard because, he's elvish like us, but he ties it to his earrings, so it all hangs in like that. It's very weird.
No moustache with it?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Don't think you could get one to work.
So, just a chin strap, then?
Oh, sort of, but it's hooked in his earrings. It sort of goes under his chin and up. It's very strange. I've only seen him once. He's a bit of a strange boy.
Why does he do it?
Well, apparently it's something to do with his family. I don't really know. I know his mother was a dwarf.
Did she have a beard?
Probably.
Dwarf, so I assume so.
Of course. Well, I guess we'll have to go and speak with him, perhaps.
And perhaps the infirmary? Find out what's happened to the...
If you need any help, and he points to a sort of sign on the wall. It's very crudely painted sign on the wall. which tells you that this floor is floor 0. It has the elven offices, the stalls, and the station. The next floor down is floor 1. It has the infirmary, the barracks, and the canteen. The next floor below that has dig site 1, the equipment room, and the refinery. Below that is dig site 2. And the floor below that just says in thick dwarven script the word bedrock. So yeah, basically what'll happen is you'll hear this horn, right? And it's the dwarven horn that's always been there, then the lift will start moving. And on cue, this very loud, almost deafeningly loud dwarven horn sounds. He goes, there you go, just like that. And the floor beneath your feet starts grumbling really loudly. And you just see these large stone plates to start descending through this hole. Basically, if you ever see any Souls-like game lift, it's a Souls-like game's lift. It's just this huge metal plates that just keep moving. And he goes, yeah, so, I wish you all the best. Good luck with it all. And I'll see you later, hopefully.
Just a quick one for you. There's a vendor over there. You'll see him. Tabaxi fella. Got a little sign up, says ghost repellent. He was telling us that you guards aren't worth shit, aren't worth the money.
Oh, who gave him that bastard an idea? Now we're not going to stop hearing the end of it. Everyone's going to go buy stinkiness on stuff he's put in a jar. For fuck's sake, patches.
I don't make eye contact.
Sorry.
Ooh, there's a ceiling.
So, the lift is moving. Where would you like to go? You can stay on this floor. You can go down to the infirmary, the barracks, the canteen, dig site 1, equipment room, refinery, or dig site 2. Where would you like to go?
Are we able to talk to the workers, or have they gotten into like the lifts? 'Cause I know there was
They've got onto the lift and moved down, but they'll probably workers on most floors.
I mean, I suppose I don't know.
I think we should go to the infirmary. We're going to have a look at what's happening to these people. The infirmary is probably the best place to start.
It makes sense. And if the barracks is also there, so we could speak to that half dwarf, half elf.
No, he's on the second floor.
So who's in the barracks?
He's in the equipment.
He's in the equipment room.
Ah, damn. We need to go there anyway for Dig Site 1. So yeah, perhaps a tea at the canteen.
So you step on the lift. Again, this feels very strange to you as this massive stone plate just starts descending. But after about a minute or so it has descended down the floor, you step off on the first floor down. From your left to your right, you see a quite large building sunk into the wall with a huge red cross painted on the front of it. Straight in front of you is what looks like it would have been a very elaborate dwarven drinking hall that's been converted into what looks like some sort of giant bakery with many elves working on making bread and some tables and chairs sitting around, some stalls. And to your far right there is this, again, room sunk into the wall that has like 2 doors coming from it, and the sound of snoring can be heard from it. As you're deciding where best to go, 2 elves come up on the lift next to you, on the other side of the lift. They're wheeling a cart with 2 dwarves that are like passed out face down on top of it. They're like stacked on top of each other, and they're just wheeling them towards the infirmary, and they greet you with a cheery "hello" as they walk past you. What would you like to do?
Hello, Mallory says as she sort of waves slowly while she's just staring at them wheeling the dwarves away.
Are these dwarves shot white hair and all the same as the other ones? Of these?
Their beard and hair is completely white, like snow white, and they are passed out like fully, like planking, basically. So they're on this cart.
Mallory will just sort of like locked gaze on this cart. She'll just sort of start walking after it, like in just confusion. She just like walks towards it.
I was just going to turn to the others and go, dig site 2.
Aye, that's from District 2, aye. We have to send one down every time the lift moves, because there's so many of these bastards coming up now.
Is that the first of today?
Oh yeah, this is the first ones from today. There's only been the 2 of them, but they are recent.
Can I have a look at them?
The elf just stops and goes, oh yeah, sure, help yourself.
I'll look at Tommy and I'll say, give a gal a hand. And I'll just grab one side of the dwarf on top to try and like lift him off so I can have a look at the bottom one and flip him over.
You kind of bend down to lift this dwarf. You expect him to weigh the same as most dwarves do. As you pick him up, he's incredibly light. You can pick him up easily with almost one hand.
That's odd. I'll sort of carefully place that dwarf on the floor. And then I'll
move him, you just hear him kind of babbling and occasionally going mother. As you put him on the floor, he just continues to babble and occasionally repeat the word mother.
And then I'll flip over the other one.
You flip him over to he's on his back. The dwarf is staring, like, eyes wide open, staring straight at the ceiling. And again, just keeps babbling, and the more you kind of, like, wave over his face and stuff or make any kind of shadow, he just repeats the word mother over and over again.
Interesting. I'm dumbstruck.
It is fairly odd.
I haven't seen it before. And Tommy's just the one that's on the floor is just going to like lightly kick it just to see if it moves or anything.
You lightly kick it, you sort of tap it as gently as you'd like tap a football, just to like give a very light. The dwarf moves, maybe like 4 to 6 inches, just enough that you're like, that shouldn't move that far from that kind of a gentle tap.
And I look at his eyes.
Mhm.
Like, is there anything? Do they look different to how they should normally look? Like, do they look glazed over or like cloudy or anything like that?
They look kind of glazed. I wouldn't say they look that cloudy, but they look kind of like he's been sitting with his eyes wide open for a while, like he hasn't blinked in a long time, but his eyes don't look that like angry red way, they just look like they're just very fugued out.
Tommy's going to lean down, he's going to put his ear to this dwarf's chest and just sort of like knock on his ribs to see if he's hollow.
You knock it, he doesn't sound hollow, his heartbeat is very faint. He sounds as thorough as a normal dwarf would, but his heartbeat is incredibly faint.
Does he match the symptoms of petrification?
He's gone completely white and he's not moving.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Okay, I think I'll just sort of lift the dwarf that's on the floor and put him back I'll put him back face down on top of the... Although I suppose that'll cause the completely weird situation. Fuck it, right, just put that one back on top, even though it feels a bit weird.
The dwarves are basically nose to nose.
Yeah.
Neither of them seem to be bothered, they're just like... Although you do notice when you sort of turn your head to them, they seem to be like almost kissing when they say mother to each other.
Oh, it's quite beautiful.
The elf just shrugs and picks them up and starts wheeling them into the infirmary.
Well, I'm quite parched.
That is the oddest thing I have ever seen.
I've never seen anything like it.
Me neither. To the bakery then?
Right. Head your way over to the canteen, and as you get close to the canteen, you go to, "Hi there, would you like some bread?" And you look up and a very enthusiastic elf is offering you this like basket full of like several little bits of bread.
Tommy's just going to reach out and take one.
Wonderful, help yourself, they're paid for by upstairs, help yourself.
Oh, well, in that case, of course. Mary will take one very daintily. She'll pick one up.
Okay, so you just help yourself to bread. Would you like any, we've got some very sweet wine. At this point you hear a very and you look over and there's a sort of older looking woman smoking in front of a small stall with a big flagon in front of her. And she goes, "In my day, workers didn't have bread and wine. They had proper drinks.
Such as?
Well, if you want to try some proper drinks," and she just sort of moves the flagon an inch further over and goes, "Try this, dearie, only a couple of gold, it'll put some hair everywhere on you."
What does it look like?
You walk over and you look down the thing, the smell alone is a very strong mushroom, and even just getting close enough to smell it, your eyebrows feel like they're burning off. It's the finest mushroom beer you'll ever have, dearie.
Tommy, I think I have just the drink for you.
I've had dwarven mushroom ale before. You cannot drink it, Mal.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to anyway, so... But thank you for the heads up. I sort of lean in, like, over the tankard, whatever it is.
It's like a very large tankard, it's that sort of flagon, but yeah. It smells incredibly strongly of mushroom. Again, anything that comes, like your nose feels like it's burnt on the inside just from smelling it.
Mara sort of just winces a little bit. No thank you, but thank you.
Suit yourself, young blood.
Mara sort of turns to the sort of like Mel and Tommy, just, young blood? What? Weird thing to say.
She's just saying that you're young.
Well, I've been keeping up with my skin routine.
You're not going to be able to do that down here.
I suppose.
The elf tries to wheedle it. Well, if you're not having that, would you like some sweet wine? And you can just feel the old woman behind just kind of giving a like devil stare. Can you just feel the smoke blow past you?
Is it paid for as well?
Oh yes, everything's paid from upstairs.
Beautiful, then yes, we'll have... I look at Tommy, sort of trying to deduce whether he'd want it. We'll have 3, please.
Oh, no problem. And the elf runs off happily and comes back with some bottles of a very, very sparkling looking fruity wine. Puts them down next to your bread. At this point, you just feel the seething of the woman behind.
Tommy's going to turn to the elf and go, "Any water?"
Oh, yes. You've got finest elven spring water. 1 second. And he just, again, rushes off, comes back with a small, like, jug.
Paid for?
Oh, yes, everything's paid for upstairs.
Tommy's going to pull out a skin and fill a water skin full of water.
That's fine, just pour it in, goes fine, looks like clean fresh water.
He might need some of this down there.
The old woman you just feel kind of like, fresh spring water, what's wrong with my dwarven water?
I'm sorry, man. You seem to be putting us off our bed with your muttering and backhanded comments.
She just takes a very long draw of her cigarette and then just goes, "Don't mind me, dearie, I'll be dead soon."
Yes, I'm sure of that. Mark just sort of turns back towards. Well, that's a good idea with the water. I mean, do you think it's worth speaking to her? Or, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm equipped to. Tommy, perhaps.
Tommy just looks, shakes his head, and stands up and goes over to the old woman.
"Oh, hello, dearie, you look the kind that would more be frequenting my sort of tipple."
I'll take one.
Takes a couple of coins off you, gives you the sprig flag, and he goes, "Bottoms up, dearie, I wish you all the best."
He just necks the whole thing.
Alright. Roll me resist poison.
God, our muscles gonna get drunk.
6.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You down the whole thing, you give her a look like that was easy, and then your legs just go. You collapse downwards, you're now sitting on your arse on the floor. Everything is now tripping out in colours, everything is wobbly and wavy. Everything just feels like you're on a very high hallucinogenic trip.
Tommy. And I run over to Tommy.
Oh my god, what mushrooms did she put in this?
Slap him in his face.
Is that you're tapping Tommy's face? Tommy's vision is just going boom, 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 but he's not really sure why.
Let's get some water into you. I'll put his water skin up to his mouth.
Or a water skin over him. Again, he's just had this strange. It's like his mind's got this sensation of like waterfalls happening. He's had no sensations happening to his body.
He thinks he's in like a hair care advert, so he's just sort of like waving his head about.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
At this point, the old woman just walks round, picks the flagon off the floor, sips the last few drops at the bottom, and goes, "I could be used this," and then walks back round behind her stall.
Ma'am, is there anything we can do to end this?
Well, I mean, you knew what you were getting into. I did tell you it's strong stuff.
With my, I don't know, training in alchemy, I sometimes like a cure-all for alcohol. Or well, for hallucinogenics.
Do you have any antitoxin?
I do, actually.
You try antitoxin on him?
Tommy, I think this might help. Just stay there. I'll get the antitoxin out and I'll drop a bit onto his tongue.
Roll and we'll see how it affects him.
Mother said I wasn't to take things from dragons.
I thought you were going to say something like, "Mama didn't raise no bitch."
I'm sure that's true.
My mama didn't raise no bitch.
It's okay, Tommy. I've got this.
16. I can see colours. I can taste them.
I'm glad you can see colours.
His vision returns to almost normal. His pupils go from full back to almost normal size. Everything is still very colourful, but he's a lot more come to. His legs are still like jelly, and he's not the best at standing up right now. But he's conscious enough that he can at least see you and respond to you now.
Tommy?
Ah, man, I had a weird dream.
It wasn't a dream. You ingested some rather potent inebriation.
And perhaps started to see colours.
Which is odd, because I can see colours.
Are we inebriated?
At first, Tommy could have worked, and you could have easily had a split-second effect of this.
Bloody hell, that's potent.
That was, oh, there's some funky mushrooms in that.
Once you've tried it once, you'll keep coming back, dearie.
She wasn't wrong.
Wow,
It did
it's
put hair,
scary.
it did put... I didn't think I could get more hairy, but...
Mary sort of, as he sort of looks down his top, Mark's just sort of like, tries to see how much hair he's actually got.
Let's get you something to eat, Tommy. Something to soak up the mushrooms.
You sort
Instead
of
of cybin.
semi-drag Tommy over to a stool that he can sit on, and after a couple of attempts, he gets comfortable enough that he's not going to fall off, and he starts like very lightly nomming on this bread.
Oh,
Just mouthing it.
After about another 10-20 minutes, Tommy is sobered up enough that he can make coherent sense to the rest of you.
Perhaps we should ask her about the ghost. She's been here this long.
yeah, just don't drink the stuff. Oh, I'm going to pay for that tomorrow.
I wasn't going to. It's just after sunrise. It's a bit soon to be drinking.
You've got
No
soft hands, haven't you?
No judgment.
You've never been down a mine before.
I mean, no, that's why we hired you. Are you still hallucinating? We're the scholars who hired you.
I remember who you are.
Oh, thank goodness. Thought we'd lost you there. Well, since you're fit as a fiddle again, shall we make a move?
Oh, I was suggesting perhaps we should talk to that old lady who made the beer about the ghost.
Yes, I suppose so. Mallory sort of seems like really doesn't like the lady.
I can go by myself if you prefer, Mal.
It's fine. I'll come with moral support.
We'll walk back over to her.
Two of you walk over. She goes, "Oh, hello, you two. Have you as your friend wanting another one?"
No. He's had plenty already.
Weird. I thought he would at least have lasted just one more before passing out.
Perhaps at the end of the day.
Well, I suppose there is time for it. Anyway, are you two after something?
Hopefully some knowledge.
So it gives you a sort of long, hard stare and kind of like, alright, what do you want to know? No, I'm not telling you what goes in my beer. It's my ancient family secret.
That's fine. Do you happen to know anything about the ghost problem? The mines have in dig site 1 and 2.
She inhales and she just, there's a couple of them, she just lightly blows smoke towards you and goes, "What ghost problem?"
Some people in dig site 2 are being petrified.
"What poppycock?" Again, just inhales and just breathes slowly towards you, like, not like fully like get the fuck away, but just kind of like that, kind of like, I'm not really wanting to talk to you, so I'm going to be as annoying as possible.
No, they're in the infirmary now. They're white like cotton and can't move and begging for their mothers.
Oh, sounds like normal dwarf behavior, if you ask me.
Really? I thought dwarves had a good work ethic. They
work well, but they don't tolerate their beer very well, if you ask me. In the last few that have passed out from the beer, I've had to send over to the barracks. They can't handle their drink.
These ones are being found stiff as boards with their hair turned white down in dig site 2.
Maybe someone, I don't know. Maybe someone jumped out at them. They're not very observant.
Okay. Do I think she's telling the truth?
You just have this general feeling of disdain from her. She just really doesn't want to talk about this.
Okay. It was lovely talking to you, I think. Good day.
Bye, sweetheart.
As Mel sort of starts to walk off, like, Mallory just lingers for a minute, just scowling at her, and then follows suit.
And as they follow suit, all they hear is Tommy just sort of fall off the stool, just backwards, just thump.
Oh, Tommy. I'll run over to you.
I go up and I'll slap him again.
He's conscious, he's just still on the edge of the trip. Like, everything still feels a little rubbery.
You want some more antitoxin?
I think the mine fell over.
No, just you.
Oh, okay.
I'll help him up.
I'm trying to open it up. I am only like 3 foot.
You help him up, that's fine. You notice the two elves coming back out of the infirmary, wheeling the cart, and they just leave it next to the lift. And they start walking over to the canteen to get some food.
Perhaps we should help them.
Yes, of course, yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, they are currently just getting themselves some food, and they come over once they've got it, and they go, "Hello there, I didn't think you'd still be here. Oh, your friend's taking the mushroom beer, have they? It's brave soul."
But he survived, mostly.
He's just over there waving at you.
Oh, well, it's nice. Well, we're basically off duty now until the horror runs again, and then we're going to go back down Dig Site 2, take some more dwarves up.
Have you seen anything when you go to get the dwarfs?
Oh, I just go down and we just find a pile of dwarves. We just sort of pop them on the cart. They're very lightweight now, which is very strange, but seems the easiest way to get them up here.
Are they all over Dig Site 2 or in one specific area?
Well, they're in Dig Site 2. You see, we've got a team down there that sort of brings them all to the edge of the lift. So we just have to just sort of step off, grab them, and step back on again.
And they're not responding to treatment of any kind?
Oh, you'd have to ask the doctors. Like, we're just porters.
That
Makes sense.
So we could go talk to the doctors?
Yes, we can on the way to the next dig site, perhaps. To the dig sites.
Well, if they're in the infirmary.
Okay, they're just over there. Gestures towards the infirmary.
Let's go.
A quick chat before the lift gets here.
You walk over up towards the infirmary. You push the door open. Inside, there's a bunch of elves just sort of walking around doing sort of everyday nursing stuff. As you walk into things, there's like a sort of nurse's station in the middle. There's several like wings of beds like sort of horseshoe-shaped wings of beds. The one to your right has like 15 beds in the circle, and all you can see in the beds is a man in like bed 7 or 8 and a man in bed 9 or 10. And the rest of the beds are just very neatly made up with nothing else on it. And as you walk up looking a little confused, that you've definitely seen dwarves come in here, but you don't see any dwarves, the elf at the reception goes, "Can I help you?"
We were looking for the petrified dwarfs.
"Oh, are you family?"
Sure.
"Oh, right, okay. Well, which dwarf was it? I'm afraid we don't have any names. What did they look like?"
They have a black beard.
Oh, that is different. Give me a second. Flicks through some pages. Oh, no dwarves with black beards. You've got about 50 dwarves with white beards.
I imagine he has a white beard now.
All right, well, he's one of these. And she sort of gestures towards the wing. As you look over again, all you see is the 2 humans in the beds. She goes, "Hang on." She gets up and walks over, walks to the first bed, lifts the sheet up, and you see a dwarf lying underneath, face down on the floor. And she goes, "Is this them?"
No.
Right. She goes to the second bed and she lifts this up and goes, "Is this them?"
No.
"Oh, I can't be doing this all day. If you ever just check yourself.
That'd be
Let me know."
lovely. Quick question. What is a treatment plan for them all?
"Well, you see, the problem is they're not taking any solids or liquids, so the doctor's kind of trying to get what he can, but most of them are just going to pass in a few days.
Is there nothing you can do for the petrification?
We've tried giving them tubes, but they just keep choking.
Any magic solutions?
And they come to mind. I've had someone look at them and he says it's not magic, they're just old."
Old.
"Yes, old. You know, not long for the earth."
Okay, thank you.
She sort of nods her head a little bit and goes, "If you need anything else, I'll be at my station."
Wonderful.
She walks back and just leaves you standing on this edge of this, again, sort of like horseshoe-esque collection of beds.
Tommy's just looking at his hand in the light, up to a light. Just
You just see the dwarf going, "Oh, they've been on the beer. Okay." The elf just walks around, just gently like steers Tommy towards the end bed. Just goes, "You just have a lie down here, sir.
No,
Next in no time."
he's fine. He's just a bit different. Is there any doctors nearby that we can speak to about?
Shortly. I can page him.
That would be good.
She walks to the edge and she picks up this gigantic handbell and just goes clack clang, clack clang. She goes, busy about then goes, "The doctor will be here soon." And just sits back down at her
Thank you.
desk.
We have to do something. They're going to die in a few days.
But this very old man goes, You, why are you making noise? I'm trying to sleep. I'm tired. Why are you making noise?"
I go over to the man.
"Yes, you, why are you making noise?"
I'm sorry, sir. We were just investigating the petrified dwarf issue.
"Oh, I don't understand what you're talking about, but okay.
Are you okay, sir?
I had a very long drinking session yesterday. I don't remember it. All I remember is being dragged in here. I feel very tired."
I'm sure you'll feel better soon.
"Yes, it's my brother's birthday, you see.
That's nice.
He's celebrating his 23rd birthday. And as the younger brother, I'm meant to be the one that arranges everything, but it's very difficult."
How old does he look?
Looks in his 80s.
Sir,
It's,
how do you respectfully ask if they've got dementia? How old are you, sir?
I'm 20. I turn 21 in a couple of weeks. I'm going to hopefully have more of that delicious mushroom beer.
How long have you worked at the mines?
Oh, we only arrived 2 days ago.
Sir, are you aware that you've been aged?
Oh, I'm of age. I can drink legally.
No. Yeah, I'm sure you can. But if you look at your hands,
No, that's not right. I'm a sprightly young thing. He just trails off and just doesn't seem to talk anymore.
can I look around his bed for any, like a chart for him?
Find a chart. The chart says that his name is Charlie. All they've got is that he turned up yesterday. He was found drunk, passed out in Dig Site 2.
Tommy's going to try and crawl in the bed with him.
I tried to pull Tommy away.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
help.
You just lie down next to him, that's fine.
Tommy, what are you doing?
Sleep. Shh.
There's empty beds.
This one's got a teddy bear. This one's got a teddy bear. Shh.
At this point, you see an elf, a very frazzled-looking elf, in a long white coat, just appear. And he goes, "Yes, what? What was that called for?"
The
I'd like to speak to you. Oh, all right. Yes, what do you want? Is your relative,
Sure.
this man here?
Yes.
Well, he's old. Probably
He's
gonna die
not.
soon. He was found in Dig Site 2, I believe. At least somebody could tell us his name, unlike most of these bastarding dwarves.
Doctor, he was not this age when he went to dig that too.
Right. Well, there's not much
He was
I can do
20.
about that. I've heard many things about this aging thing going on, but I don't really know if I believe it, to be honest. I mean, how do you know he wasn't this age when he... I suppose you are family, aren't you? Well, keep an eye on him.
Doctor, are you not going to do anything?
Well, what can we do for aging, you see?
But it's not normal aging. It's must be magical in nature.
True, well, I don't know if it's magical, but what can we do about aging? We can't really fight the number of years we've been on this earth. We just have to accept it. That's just how...
You make a good point, but the number of years he's been on this earth is 20. And he looks 80.
Well, he must have lived a very harsh life, and mining can do that to you.
I don't think you're quite getting the grasp of this.
You see, all I can do is approach it as a physician. And as a physician, this gentleman has appeared as a sort of older man with really older man problems.
Yes, but your patient is a 20-year-old man who has been abnormally aged by 60 years, which might suggest what happened to the dwarves.
Well, the dwarves are a strange one. Let me show you. And he just pulls the sheet and just puts his hand under and grabs one by the belt and just hauls up one hand up his on top of the bed. And he goes, "Now we look at this dwarf. You will notice that they're very lightweight.
Yes.
You'll also notice, oh, sorry, this is the wrong one." And he just grabs it by the belt and puts it back under the bed. Walks over to another one and grabs that one and pulls that one out. Flips it over. And he goes, "You'll notice this one has his arm in a sling. Because he broke his arm. Now, if we see here, I wouldn't normally do this, but I know that he's not actually feeling any pain. You'll notice that he just bends the arm at the sort of halfway along the forearm and just bends fully and back again." And he goes, and if you look here when he bends it, he just shows you this like massive wound that's been healed, but the bone inside is like hollow with a very thin like bone crust on the outside. And he goes, "That's not normal. Now the problem is we don't know what the fuck is doing this.
Perhaps you should close the mine until you find out.
I can only advise upstairs. I can't close the mine, sadly.
Right.
Something is doing this, and I don't know if the thinning of the bones is causing any problems for the dwarves, or if it's just making them very lightweight. But you can probably throw this dwarf quite far."
Please don't.
Tommy's going to stand up and go, "Oh, we're playing dwarf toss."
No,
No.
Tommy.
Doctor, I would fully be aboard with this. No, I'm afraid I can't.
Where did you get your qualification, Doctor?
Oh, I got it from Tippermoon University, and the finest elven degrees. We had a wonderful time. I remember my days there sipping whiskey and talking about anatomy. Oh, I loved anatomy. My favourite subject. Finding new bones and naming them after yourselves.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I think you might be due a refund on your degree. I'm being honest, but
Well, it's getting me solid work, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, but you're shit at it.
thank you, Tommy.
Well, I mean, who's willing to work in a mine?
Do they not pay you?
Oh, they pay me very well. That's why I'm happy to say that. I wouldn't be mocking my job if I didn't like the fact I'm being paid a fortune to sit around and dealing with boo-boos.
Obviously, something's been taken from their bones.
They seem thinner. Not really sure what's going on, but they seem hollow as well, which is kind of strange.
You
Bird.
have to look at Tommy.
Fly.
Fly. Can they fly, Doctor?
Not that I'm aware. Though the similarity, now you've mentioned it, the similarity between these bones and bird bones is very interesting.
Do you have any medication, perhaps, for my friend here? I say,
Oh,
nodding towards
what is it?
Tommy. Something to... He drank some of the beer. The mushroom beer.
Oh, well, the beer is a wonderful thing for, keeping equipment clean. We use it to clean the surgical tools. But we do have to take it out after a certain amount of time where it starts to dissolve the metal.
Is it going to dissolve my metals?
Oh, no.
Mel, is it going to dissolve my metals?
No, it's fine. You're not made for metal.
People seem to be fine on it, but my God, you should see how quickly it strips the scalpel.
It's going to strip me. Don't let it take my clothes. Don't let it take my clothes, please.
Have a bit more of this. I give him more antitoxin.
If you want to do antitoxin, roll for antitoxin.
If this doesn't go well, I might poison it. 11?
11. You give him more antitoxin. He feels a bit more with it still, but again, he's still slightly tripping. Very, very slightly tripping. Doctor goes, oh, that's wonderful stuff. That seems to actually work for everything. I should take a note of that.
It's a basic antitoxin.
Oh, well, should all do. Nurse, could you please order more of that? We could do with some more of that. By the way, Doctor...
Don't let it strip my clothes. Just don't let it strip my clothes now.
Of yours, is it still in practice? It wasn't closed down due to educational failings?
It's a marvellous place. It's still open. But, I mean, I much prefer to be a surgeon, but my hands are a little too shaky for it. But then I get to operate here, so everything's good.
Nella's horrified. He doesn't want to touch anything in this place.
Oh, don't you worry. If anything should happen to you, you're in good hands.
Yes, good shaking hands.
Oh, it's just, I mean, look at this. He holds his hands up and they just tremble quite a bit. He goes, don't worry, I have a stiff drink first. I'll be fine.
Tommy's just going to go, stiff drink definitely works, and he's going to hold his hand out and it's literally just vibrating.
Have another drink for me.
Well, if that's all you need, I'll return to my business.
Yes, and good day, Doctor.
Good day. And he sort of wanders back off again. The nurse follows him with very kind of dovey eyes.
I think we need to report this infirmary to the medical regulator for the region.
As you're debating what to do next, you hear the sound of the horn go outside and the ground beneath your feet starts rumbling.
We should get to that elevator.
So you walk back outside.
It's
two elves
right for me.
standing with their trolley, waiting to go back down to the lift. So you can go up to floor 0 with the station, the stalls, and the offices. Stay on this floor, go down to dig site 1, their equipment room and the refinery, or go down to dig site 2. Where would you like to go?
We can either go to dig site 1 and talk to the dwarves who are reporting those issues, or we can either go to dig site 2 where they're finding the bodies.
I think maybe... How about bedrock? Nobody's mentioned bedrock, and yet...
You can go down to the bedrock floor if you want.
I'm crazily curious.
And that's what makes you such a good research partner.
Tommy sat in the trolley while I was waiting.
Alright, so you climb in the lift. Where are you going to go down? You go down to bedrock? Okay. So you get on the lift, you descend down to the bedrock level. You watch the elves get off at dig site 2 level, where there's a pile of about 6 dwarves lying face down. They shove them all onto the cart, and they look like they're going to wheel them up to the next one. And as you keeps going down, it just stops dead at one point, and you're in pitch black, and you feel the lift just moving back the way to go back up the other side. And you stand off. So you're standing around in pitch black. What would you like to do?
I take out a torch, and I use my flint and tinder to light it.
Oh, okay. So you spark up a torch.
Oh wait, this has never been used as a coal mine before, has it?
No, it's not a coal mine. It's been gold and other such things.
Okay, good. I'm not going to blow us up. Good.
Just take for a second to remember that, but no.
Tommy's just going to duck like that on the floor. Just.
This is where we find there's actually a gas leak in the mountain. That's what's affecting everyone.
Tommy's having PTSD from his own mining days.
It doesn't seem that big. There's like a wall in front of you. It doesn't look like a sort of natural wall. Can everyone do an awareness roll, please?
Oh. Come on.
I got 19.
19.
I got 13.
9.
Mal notices that she just walks up and just taps one of the walls and it just sounds hollow.
Tommy, bring your pickaxe over here.
And he just sort of walks over and hands it straight out, but he's actually handing her one of the steel rods that he picked up instead of the pickaxe.
I give the very
which is still over his shoulder.
I give the high Tommy a wide berth as he's now put our fucking weapon.
I'll grab it and I'll just sort of lightly tap at the wall and see if I can get through.
You tap at the wall, and as you sort of chip a large chunk away, a very strong waft of cold air comes through from it.
Mal just shivers. Let's go this way.
Hang on. Will this help? And Tommy pulls the hammer off his back and just wings at the wall.
Alright, do a strength roll.
Mario ducks.
16.
You crack the wall, there's a huge hole just breaks through the wall now. And as you stand looking through the sort of hole in the wall, it's very obvious that the wall you just broke through is like cheap partition wall that's been put up. It looks like it's had rocks glued to either side so it looked more real, but it's obviously quite fake.
Mario's going to start slowly walking through, very cautiously.
Okay.
I have my torch in one hand, and I will pull my staff of lightning in my other hand, and I'll follow you in.
Alright, so you walk through. If anyone got any of the light sources apart from Mel, or is it just Mel?
I've got a torch as well.
Oh, then I'll use mine to light
yeah.
yours.
Look
So
at
the two of you walk through. You can see all around you is this gigantic mine stretching as far as you can see. And as you walk forward and look around holding the torch up, eventually after a couple of minutes you see piles of bones lying around. And as you sort of kneel down to examine them, they are quite obviously humanoid and they're covered in mushrooms.
Perhaps this is where that old lady's getting hold of her mushrooms from.
Did I drink dead people? Did I drink dead people? Did I drink dead people?
No,
Over his
maybe
eyes.
not directly.
Did I drink dead people?
No, I'm sure you didn't. I'm sure she didn't use those ones.
Ghost! Am I the ghost?
Tommy, come back to us.
Slap him.
As you look around further after seeing this one, you see another, and another, and another. Huge piles of bones, humanoid bones covered in mushrooms. Some of them got more like humanoid possessions as before. Like some of them got like long leather tunics and pickaxes and other sort of little like knickknacks like keys and that's just lying around in piles amidst the bones.
How old do the bones look?
You pick one up and you squeeze it lightly and it cracks like an eggshell. And as you just run your thumb over it, it just pops inwards and the bone's as thin as eggshell.
I'm wondering if these are the missing miners from the Union. But this has been here a while.
Is there any, like, hair left?
When you look around the piles, you do see like clumps of like very, very decayed flesh with some hair stuck to it. It's very thin grey hair.
You said there was possessions.
Yeah.
Can I go through them, see if I can find any string of numbers that might match the numbers you got in Union Man?
You go through, you find like the occasional like ring, you find the occasional like possession with actual initials on it and stuff. One or two things that could be, and as you hold up the list of names next to it, there's a couple of names that definitely could potentially match. At this point, you look at Tommy and you notice Tommy's looking a little bit more grey than he was earlier.
Oh yeah. How are you feeling, Tommy?
Oh, me. Like a rubber tree.
Perhaps you need another dose of antitoxin.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You get 3 antitoxin in a bundle, so yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, God, please let this work. That's a 15.
Or antitoxins as well. He seems to sober up whatever is still left of non-sobriety.
Does he still look as grey?
Still looks as grey. Tommy's looking at the two of you. Tommy does see that you are beginning to get like that salt and pepper grey look as well.
You young'uns are starting to look a bit like me.
Can I examine the mushrooms? Do I recognise their breed?
Are you looking at them? Are you cutting one, holding it in your hand? Are you
I will look at one at first. I don't want to disturb them releasing these spores.
Okay. You look at the mushrooms. Roll me nature or alchemy would probably work either way.
30, 20, 16 on the dice for intelligence.
These mushrooms are very gooey compared to most mushrooms you've been familiar with, though you're very aware that even just poking one lightly with the tip of your pencil, you see that it's leaking this very pungent green goo, and you're like, this is... The back of your mind is tingling a memory of this is the kind of mushrooms that were very hallucinogenic.
Okay, I think these are the mushrooms she's been using. I think we should get away. I think we should go back to the wall.
Good idea.
It still continue past this.
You go back to the wall, the lift is just sitting dead, it's not moving, but you can go back to it.
Is there anything further, like, when we come back to where, like, we saw that fake partition, is there anything further down, like, down this?
Yeah, it's quite an expansive mine. It seems to only have, like, a sort of partition, like, almost a box around where the lift itself was. And as you look around, it's got some, like, supporting struts and stuff. It looks like this was basically almost sealed in.
I could use my lightning for my staff to destroy the mushrooms.
as you walk around in the gloom to try and find if there's anything else, you just see more and more just patches of bones just lying around, discarded. Again, it's all of them just growing little piles of mushrooms.
Hang on. These things are... You said these things are hallucinogenic, right?
Yes.
She's making the beer out of this stuff.
Maybe.
I saw you as a dragon.
I think so.
What if the ghost is people tripping balls, man?
Possibly. I suppose it could be seeping up into the... I mean...
Because you guys are also going white.
As are you. So dig site 2 is just above us. I guess if it was leaking up, perhaps even through the mine shaft, the elevator shaft, it's
Can't go into the...
affecting them more.
We can't go into the dung.
We could just try to destroy some of the mushrooms.
Would that not
for a
release
penny.
spores?
I mean, if I burn them to a crisp with my lightning.
Go ahead, try it.
Can I find see if I can do this controlled. Can I find a mushroom or a bunch of them that's just away from like a larger batch?
Find a sort of smaller batch of bones and mushrooms.
I'll back away a bit. I don't know what range my staff can give me. But I'll go as far as I can and I'll shoot lightning at it.
Roll me a d20 plus your intelligence.
15?
You shoot a bolt of lightning across the mushrooms. There's a sort of crackle, and then immediately a fire starts and burns a very deep purple flame.
Okay.
No, I'm no expert, but isn't fire usually yellow, orange, reddish?
It depends what it's burning.
Any of you seen purple fire before? Any of that in your books?
Have we? Or just what we know that if you burn certain elements, it does.
You vaguely remember that the flame will burn a different colour depending what's actually in it. As you're debating what this is, you notice that the smoke coming off it is also a kind of very light purple, and it seems to be dispersing out.
Oh, God. Is it diluting a bit as it disperses out? Is it staying quite purple?
Very diluting, but it's still soft light purple fog slowly drifting outwards.
Perhaps we should back away.
Shall we get ready near the lift for when it...
Yes.
Should we seal that hole back up as well?
Yes. Let's see if we can. I suppose I know a repair spell.
You watch as this purple fog just drifts its way towards you. You try and repair the wall. What are you going to use to repair the wall? Just the stone that was there and...
Yeah, just the bits that have been, like try and jigsaw little bits back together, and what we can't, we'll gather stones and whatnot to fill in bits.
So you fill in the bits, and you back off as far as you can to wait. Within about 20-30 minutes, you see just very light wisps of this purple fog just coming through the gaps in the stone.
Okay, I will pull my tunic up to cover my mouth, and I will get a bit closer and put my torch in the flame in the gas and hope it burns it off.
Your torch starts sparkling with you know kind of when you put certain types of light, it has that sort of sparkle effect. It's like crackle. So it seems to sort of crackle with sparks as you hold your torch in it.
Is the purple mist dust being... I feel like it's working where I want it to.
It seems to
Using it up.
be dispersing a bit more, but it is like sparking with purple, like quite very deep purple notes.
That's odd.
It is a little bit, yes. Who are you going to tell that we've released an unknown gas into their mine?
As you take turns for the next several hours to try and make sure that this purple gas sort of stays at that little bit.
Is it still coming?
You take the torch away after a bit, maybe another 5-10 minutes again, just starts slowly just seeping back through, and you just crackle it off, and then it stops again. Every so often you have to keep re-crackling every so often for it to stop. But after a while you hear the horn sound and the lift starts moving. You very quickly run onto the lift plate and it starts heading upwards. Where would you like to go?
I think we need to go to the dig site too.
Yeah, it's just above us.
See if we can see any more of these mushrooms.
Okay. You climb off the lift at the dig site too. Again, you see this massive pile of dwarves that seem to be put onto carts and whisked upstairs to the infirmary. So as you wander around the start of dig site 2, you see a couple of dwarves and humans that are mining away. The dwarves seem to have got like something wedged in both of their ears, and the human keeps bursting into really out of tune song. What would you like to do?
Tommy's going to walk up to one of the dwarfs and just tap him on the shoulder and signal to him to take out whatever is in his ear.
The dwarf turns around and gives the human that's currently not singing at this exact moment a sort of horrible look and pulls the water and goes, Aye.
You seen any of this trouble with these dwarves?
What we talking about?
Those white fellas?
Oh, right. No, not really. And he sort of runs his hands through his hair. His hair is also almost snow white. And he goes, nah, I mean, my hair's, as dark as it's ever been.
Not, mate.
What do you mean?
Or as white.
Runs his finger around and goes, no, it must be coal dust. He starts feverishly rubbing his head.
Perhaps the infirmary would be your best bet.
The dwarf just glances and he notices the elf taking the dwarf up and goes, I need to go, and he rushes onto the left plate as it heads upwards. At this point, human just turns around and goes, oh, something happened to Oscar?
Yeah, did you not notice his hair's gone white, mate?
Oh, I just thought he was, covered in dig dust or something.
White dig dust.
Well, I mean, not covered in it at all. And he just starts brushing, substantially like scrubbing his head with his hand. Dust seems to be flying off him, but his hair colour's not changing.
You do happen to notice that what you're mining for is black, right?
Yeah, but there's lots of dust around it, isn't there? That'd all be dark.
Any of it look bright white to you?
Well, no. No, now you mention it, no, it doesn't.
And that's not peculiar to you at all.
No.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
How
How old does he look?
Easily 70. He's got the proper bags under the eyes, the sort of wrinkles all down the face. While his arms do have the sort of obvious, notable size of the muscles, the rest of the skin is sagging all around it.
If you're 19, your paper round must have been through one of the 9 elves.
Well, this is actually just my first job. I started, last night, and it's been a good one. Just a couple of years working in the mine. I'll earn enough to go somewhere else.
Are you human? Are you part of a species that ages, decades in a day?
I'm human. I'm from the local village. I just thought it would be a good job. I didn't realise.
Not notice your bones are aching.
I asked about that, but I got told it's just my first job kind of thing.
Mate, you look about 70.
The dwarf turns around, takes the thing, and goes, "See you complaining again? Look, your bones are gonna ache. That's how digging is. Get used to it and shut the fuck up and stop singing." Whams his thing back in his head and continues digging.
Have you seen any mushrooms around?
Oh, I've been told not to touch them. My mum told me not to go near mushrooms. She says they're bad for you. Only bad men take mushrooms.
Oh.
I look at Tommy.
Mushrooms growing on this level.
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. At this point, you hear the sound of running feet, and through one of the tunnels of the side comes this group of 4 dwarves, all carrying this one dwarf that's fugue stick. And they get to the lift and they hurl him onto the floor. And they go, right, take a break for a couple of minutes, lads, and we'll go look for more. And some of them sit down. They've all got face masks on with big red crosses painted on the front of them, and they're all snow white hair.
Tommy's going to walk over. Gents, where'd you find him?
Oh, he was passed out there. Something happened to him. Don't know what.
Is any more of those masks?
Oh, we've got 1 or 2. He just riffles through his pockets and eventually just says, here you are. Gives you a face mask.
Any others?
They sort of look around each other, and 1 or 2 more of them have sort of ruffled their pockets and find another 2.
I'll put one on.
Don't know how much use it's going to be.
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Well, I suppose we know which way to go.
Can you show us where you found him?
Aye, no bother, it's... And at this point you just see this... Right, which way did that come from? And at this point the human goes, oh, I know this one. And just starts bawling out this very out-of-tune local folk song. And the dwarf next to him gets physically, tightens up as if he's, wants to just punch him, but is no, just keep digging. Ignore him.
Do I recognise the folk song?
This is a local folk song about Jemima, the local tavern maid.
Oh.
Do we know where the sound came from?
It seemed to have come from a tunnel, I'd say roughly to your right.
Should we go look?
I've just talking and went, right, is that noise still going? We thought we'd found that source. Alright, come on lads, once you've had your break, we're going to go find that.
Well, I think we know which way to go.
Let's
that
go.
way.
Oh wait, dwarfs. Sorry, I don't know your names. I don't mean to refer to you as a group. Have you seen any mushrooms growing on this level?
Oh aye, there's plenty about.
Any purple mist?
That would be quite confused. Apple mist. I don't know what you're on about. At this point, you just turn and you look towards the lift shaft. You just see that it's very faint, little, just tiny wisps of this purple smoke just climbing up from below.
Oh.
Oh shit. Yeah, we've not heard of any peppermint either.
Tommy's just going to sort of shufty round, and assuming he's still got his torch and it's lit, is going to try and just like behind his back, just sort of wave it near the trying
sound as before, which makes all the dwarves go, "What's that?"
Just mining sounds, mate.
After a couple more moments, the dwarves all charge off down one of the other tunnels.
Perhaps we should leave a torch here to suck up some of this gas.
I go over to the human fella and just say, do us a favour. It's been a bit of an industrial accident down Bedrock. Something's leaked out. Nothing to worry about. Just need you to take this torch. When you see this purple smoke come up, just wave the torch and just burn it off for us.
All right, okay.
It's a very important job. The elves have told us that we need to find someone we can trust to do it.
Oh, well, that sounds very important. Okay, I can do that.
You got to be concentrating, or you can't be singing while you're doing it.
At this point, you just feel the dwarf next to him, just like you can just feel the hands clenching and letting go again. Just leans up and take the job, lad. You said no singing. I mean, it's a heartbreak, but you should do it. He stuffs his thing back in his ear again. The human goes, all right, I suppose I should do it. All right, okay, well, give it here. And he takes the torch. Do I just sort of sit here and like that? And he's just watched this purple wisp come up, and he just taps it, and it crackles, and it goes away again. And he goes, oh, that's easy enough.
See, you knew we had the man for the job.
I can do this. No problem.
No singing, concentrate.
I'll do my best.
And we'll turn around and try and follow where the dwarves came from. Where the dwarves were running off to. But as Tommy goes by, he sort of taps the dwarf on the shoulder and gives him a wink.
The dwarf gives a very exasperated nod. He heads off. So you follow the tunnel you think it's the one the dwarves ran down. And as you're getting along this corridor, it's getting darker. Because you're obviously away from the torches of before.
We've got one. Mal has one and Mel has one.
So the two of you walk down with these two torches. As you're just walking along, you just feel this sudden warm, dry, stagnant sensation just sort of waft over you. Feel like it's very light, warm, almost like breath but more dry. Just wafts over you.
It could be warm down here, but
odd?
That's the movement of air in the mine it's stagnant. It gets gradually warmer, not instantly warmer. That's why I made you pack the water.
As you continue along, occasionally feeling this sort of warm waft, you eventually walk into this quite larger room, and to your left, immediately on the wall, is these huge score and slash marks, like something quite large has tried to tunnel its way out and failed. They are very long, very deep scratch marks, like something with quite large scything claws.
Yeah, wow.
Mallory just gulps. She looks at it, and she sort of gets her blowpipe ready at the side of her, sort of has her hand on it.
Tommy's going to walk up to her and try and look at the claw marks and sort of use the tip of his pickaxe just to chip bits of rock off to try and see if there's any remnants of anything left in it.
You run your pickaxe on the edge of it. It does seem to have this very small elements of crooked along the side, like it was very roughly sharpened talons. It's not smooth like a blade would be going in. It's rough like a nail.
Does it look fresh?
It looks like it's been there a little while. It doesn't look really fresh. Like the dirt around it is quite impacted, so it's not it's not crumbling away or anything.
Well, surely something was trying to get into whatever is. Perhaps there's another false wall.
Perhaps it's something that's trying to get out.
Or that?
Maybe. Perhaps a creature down here is petrifying people.
And as you turn around and continue wandering around this room, following the occasional still sounds of and the sort of wafting of warm air, just on the edge of your light source you see bones. And as you walk over to it and hold the light up, this is a massive pile, a proper almost pyramid style pile of bones. Again, there's mushrooms growing everywhere all over these bones.
Oh god.
But these are definitely the bones of creatures, of something quite large. Not necessarily a dragon, but something of that kind of size, something quite enormous with big scything claws. but it's just bones. There's no, like, you've not even like tiny scraps of flesh on it. It seems completely, almost pet clean. But there are these mushrooms just growing everywhere over it.
Could we see the claws? Would they match up to the scratches that we saw on the wall?
They do match in the scratches.
That's what happened to the creatures, but what happened to everyone else? Age. Everything's aging.
Turning into mushrooms? Sprouting mushrooms?
Are the mushrooms doing it, or are the mushrooms just here because of all the stuff to go on?
Hard to say.
When my mother used to go foraging, mushrooms were just the tip of that come out of the ground. They were huge things that were underground. What if this is a giant living
Creature.
mushroom? Someone's disturbed it.
The elves by digging a second site, digging further down.
Perhaps the dwarves, that's why they gave the mine away.
True. But then why not just tell the rest of the family that's the reason why you're giving it up?
Does the man not believe you?
Perhaps we should carry on walking down because, well, Maui looks at the mushrooms and looks back up at the tin. I can feel my hair getting greyer by the second.
Can I look at my hair? Is it getting whiter?
Your hair is definitely like speckled with grey. Like
Tommy's just gonna
Tommy's almost
pull his beard up.
more grey than white. It's not gone fully as bad as a little bit. It's very grey now.
Am I aware of any natural creatures or things in nature that age people prematurely?
Well, I'm aware. At this point, as you're debating what best to do, you hear this, "Oh, you're here!" And as you look around the dark, this man just steps out of the dark with quite grey-looking hair, and he goes, "Oh, wonderful! I'm wondering how long the team would take to get here. Yes, this is the pile of bones I would like removed from this mine, please." And he holds up the clipboard and taps it several times.
What colour's his hair?
It's quite grey.
You want us to remove this for you?
Oh yes, I hope you are the team from upstairs that have been come down to remove the bones, yes? Can't have bones lying around in mines. It's very disruptive for people, very littering. Can't have that.
The mushrooms? Not a
Oh,
problem
I have that down here as biological hazard. They should be removed as well.
I'm sorry.
Do we look like the team?
Well, I don't want to talk about what should or should not be hired for a job. All I know is they've been hired for a job.
We haven't been hired for this job, unfortunately. The team you're looking for might be not far behind.
You make a good point there about biological hazard.
Oh yes, I make a note of everything. I am the inspector, and I am here to find all the problems with the mine.
There's a gas leak.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll have to put that in my notes. Where was this gas leak exactly?
The bedrock. Some of the mushrooms, it got a bit crispy, and they released this purple fog mist.
Starts
Gas.
down. Purple smoke. Right. Okay, I will have this investigated further.
It's seeping up the elevator shaft.
I see. All right. Okay. Well, I will have this submitted to the upstairs, and they will deal with it. Otherwise, we will not get the seal of Tony's approval.
I'm assuming you're Tony?
Oh yes, that's me, Tony.
Yes,
I'm sure you've heard of me.
I've met jobs with people like you before. You've classified the mushrooms as a biological hazard.
I have under Article 3, Section 4.
Do you know what kind of biological hazard?
Oh, that's why they're Article 3, Section 4. If I knew which ones they were, I'd put them in the correct section.
Forgive me, I'm not au fait with health and safety rulings.
Oh, you should familiarise yourself. It's a wonderful business. If we only all could be more safe.
Indeed, I always practice safe swinging of pickaxes.
Oh yes, it's very appropriate. Can't have unsafe swinging. As my wife used to say, can't swing unsafely.
I'm sure your wife was a very safe swinger.
Oh, she was.
Has your report made any note of the petrified dwarfs that keep turning up?
Oh, I have that down here under lazy workforce.
No, so something's doing it to them.
I'm sure it is. It's called lack of proper sleeping equipment.
It's aging them. Everyone in this mine is aging.
I should have that down as needing to hire younger workers. You can't hire all these old men and expect them to do the job of young man. Just like
Tony, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 23. Been married for 3
You don't
years.
look-
My wife's already aging me, as it were. Tips his hat.
She aged you about 80 years.
Oh, she's very enthusiastic.
I'm sure she is.
Look at your hair.
Well, I keep my hair short and tidy. I can't exactly look at my own hair.
Look at your hands.
I see the wonderfully well-made gloves of an elven stylist.
Take your gloves off.
Oh, a gentleman never takes his gloves off, especially around hazards.
Sir, take off your gloves, please.
You insist. And he just sort of makes a very much show of taking each finger off at a time and sliding the gloves off, and he goes, my hands look a bit wrinkly. I must have
Sir,
been sweating a lot.
sir, your face looks like that too.
Oh, that's a tad offensive, if you don't mind me saying.
Everyone in this mine is prematurely aging at an accelerated rate.
Oh, I think you're exaggerating a little bit. I just need to put more moisturizer upon my hands, and then they'll be nice and soft.
Tony, I came in this mine with brown hair.
So just
We have been in this mine.
Oh, that's it. You've had a rough old time then, I see.
4 hours ago.
But my hair used to be pure black.
That is indeed a rough time. Well, I'll put that in my report. Premature aging is happening. I'm not sure what we do about that. I don't know any subsection clauses that could cover such things, but I will make a note.
Should we not evacuate the mine? Given that if people are prematurely aging, that means that they're dying.
Well, they'll have to approve that upstairs. I'm just the one down here filling in the report.
I'm sure a man of your stature would have the power to shut down the mine.
Oh, I do, but I have to
help
make sure I
is
have
safety
every
nightmare.
stone uncovered first. Can't be having stones covered, otherwise they'll close it.
Ah.
If we open it later, then they'll go, that Tony, he did an incomplete job. Oh, can't be having that.
But imagine how good of a job you could do for your report if you were the only one in the mine. There'd be none in your way. You could upturn every stone.
Oh, I could. That would be tempting.
No, none of these tricksy elves to lie to you.
Oh, I suppose that is something.
And no fighting between the humans and the dwarves about thinking ability.
Oh, I kind of enjoy watching the odd spar. Makes the blood boil, if you know what I mean.
In that case, if you put them all upstairs together, there'll be lots of spars.
Oh, this is actually quite true. Alright, well, I will submit my report, and I will endeavour to have this mine closed down. However, it will take time. I need to make sure I sign everything appropriately with my name.
I show him the badge we got from the owners.
That is a very nice badge. What purpose does it have?
I just wanted your opinion on it.
Oh, well, I think it's a very nice badge. I would be very proud to have such a thing.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose we should be going. Do you know which way the came from?
Oh, do you mean the... And at this point you just hear in the background...
Sounds like Wookie.
That is over there. I don't know what it is, but I have under disturbances. I will get to it eventually.
We'll go and look at that for you. We'll get you the subsection that goes under.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Just remember, if you ever need anything to put Tony at the bottom, make sure you spell it properly.
Which is...
Starts with a C, ends with a T, yeah.
Oh, no, proper spelling of Tony. None of this lollygagging about with starting with T. No. It's proper spelling of Tony.
Which is...
You have to sing the special song to know how you spell Tony. BTOUGHNEIGH.
What the fuck? Tough nay.
Tough nay.
But tough nay.
Remember, that's how you spell my name. That's how I know they've taken safety properly, is if I spelt my name correctly.
Ed.
Thank you.
Well, we'll certainly get to that. Shouldn't you be wearing a helmet down here?
Oh, I did used to wear helmets, but then they claimed it blocked my visibility. So I have to now go without. Don't worry. I have a hard head.
I'm sure you
Sure you do. Sure there's not a lot in there.
Anyways, thank you very much. We'll see you later.
Alright, well, you all take care. I will submit my report when I can.
Wonderful.
So you wander along the corridor to follow the sound of the noise. You come to another place where there's several passages off, and again you just wait for the sound, and eventually you hear the sort of moaning, and you follow a long winding corridor down. Eventually, after a while, the air gets warmer and warmer. The sort of like when this hitting you gets warmer and warmer. Eventually, at the end of this corridor, you find it's a dead end with this like quite large wellway. The lid is hanging off at the side, and this warm air is occasionally just wafting through it and wafting through you. And as you're sort of standing around confused, you hear this coming from deep within the well.
It's coming from the well.
So
I'll go over to the well.
When you look into the well, it's pitch black inside.
Tony's going to whistle really loud down the well.
Okay. You whistle down the well. After a couple of seconds, you hear back a...
Should we go down? I've got some rope.
I've got a climber's kit, but
Okay.
doesn't this mean we'll be going further back towards bedrock?
There's no purple smoke.
It's true. I suppose if we go very quickly.
Not too quickly,
Why?
because that's just falling.
Quick enough.
Good thing.
Yes. Should we climber's kit or the rope?
You sort of hold the rope down with the light source at the bottom. As it gets to the bottom of the rope, which is about 10 metres down, it's still just well going down. You can't see the bottom.
I'll pull the rope back up. Any loose rocks near us?
A couple of the odd loose rocks there, yeah.
I kick one down and listen to how quickly it hits something.
Pick the rock up, throw it in the well. Silence for a good 30 seconds. And then there's a...
Do I know the full spell? I don't have to get down
Down
there.
with the climber's kit.
I mean, is there enough stuff in there for all of us to climb down, or is it just one at a time?
Climber's kit will have the pins and stuff in it, and you have steel pins from earlier as well. So you do have things you can use to get down there.
Let's go and be careful.
So you make your way down. It takes you quite a long time to climb down, a good couple of minutes. Eventually you just sort of drop into this quite large chamber. Under your feet immediately is a very large pool of dry blood. And as you look where the dry blood goes, it leads a trail off to the side, and then sort of heap in the corner is an elf who looks incredibly old. His leg is splintered in several places, but obviously like bone shattering out the skin, shattered in many places. His eyes have got that kind of fully
Cataracts?
yeah, full cataract, the full white in front of it, like he can't see anything, and he's just going.
I'll go over to him. Sir, I'll touch him on the shoulder.
Yeah, he goes. He puts his hand up on top of yours, and you just feel this very weak grip just start trying to hold onto your hand.
Can you talk? I suppose we could try to get him out.
As you hold up your torch and look around the room, you see there's a single exit to this room apart from the way you came in, which is a large archway.
Like carved archway, or just like a...
It's a large, an oddly well chiseled and well decorated archway.
We could go that way and see where it might lead to. Perhaps there's an easier way to get him out.
Maybe.
You know, at this point, I think we should just put him out of his misery.
He might be able to recover from this. Maybe.
You look him over, his hair is falling out in patches, and what's left is very, very white hair.
Don't elves age incredibly slowly?
Yes.
How long's he been down here like that?
I mean, a day is enough to turn a human bad. The dwarves, I imagine, is taking a bit longer. An elf, I don't know, weeks?
Days? Weeks? How long's that blood been dry for?
I mean, he can't have gone more than 3 to 4 days without water. Should we try to get him out of here?
Perhaps we have a look through the archway over there first and see.
This is there. So we're going to try and see if we can find a way out of here for you. We'll be right back.
So you head your way down through the archway. As you walk to the end of the archway, you just glance at each other and you notice Tommy's hair is just slowly just falling away. It's no longer just grey, it's just falling out in clumps. Like his beard has got very patchy and thin. And when you look at the rest of you, all the rest of you are incredibly white-haired now. And as you walk into this room, you hear the sound of steam. As you walk in, there's this gigantic brass machine with whirring and clicking and lots of glass vials that are filling and emptying with weirdly random coloured liquids. And off to the side, you just see this huge steam vent just every so often just go shh and release this very strong, very hot air out along the corridor that you just came.
Do I recognise any of the liquids that are coming up into the vials?
They are very multicoloured. There's some greens, purples, reds, yellows. They're just all in different places, just fill and empty again.
What the hell is this?
Anyone has tinkering, feel free to roll.
Yes.
Well, I do, yeah.
Hell yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
I don't.
18.
I rolled a 6.
With a 6, you're just like, what's this? It's like cogwheels and everything. With an 18, this is a very complex machine.
Yeah.
You sort of follow it all around. And you just go, oh, there's a switch here. I wonder what that does.
I found a switch. Should I press it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I press it.
Pull the lever switch down. The machine goes from going like doing, and steam just vents one final time from the back of it. Everything just goes incredibly quiet. In the gloom, you're looking around, and as the steam sort of dissipates and the machine winds to a stop, you look at each other and almost sheer exhaustion that you have saved the world.
I was asking if I can find instructions for the machine.
It's a big off lever, just clunk. Off. That's the machine stopped. You've saved the world. You've stopped the doomsday machine that was powering up to try and destroy everything. It was in taking all the sort of life force from anyone near enough, even enough to drain it. But yes, you've saved the world. But before I answer any questions you have off stream, we have come to asking one last time, who were you? Where can folk find you? What did you guys do? So, starting with Eddie, please tell us once more, who are you guys?
We are half the cast of Tales of the 20-Sided. We are a bunch of UK-based weirdos who sit around and stream our D&D campaign every Saturday. So please join us for mad quests, a kooky cast, and unbelievable stories. We stream every Saturday at 6, and we upload every Friday at 8 the following Friday. You can find us on most major social media at TOT20Sided and on Twitch as Tales of the 20-Sided. And I'm Eddie.
And we also have, which if you've watched any of our streams before, you'll know that we're partners with Pitter Patter Emporium, who are on Etsy, and they also now have their own website. You can use the discount code TOT20 for a 15% discount through there. So if you fancy that, then have a gander. They do miniatures, so you can. Because it's normally Emma that does a spiel.
Yeah, so they do 3D printed miniatures. They have their own stock sets of miniatures that they do that they've designed. But if you go to Eldritch Foundry or Hero Forge and you design your own, get the STL for it, send it over to them and they'll print it for you at a lot less of cost. So I think it works out about 25 quid. Yeah. I think it works about 25 quid just for the mini from Hero Forge, whereas it's about 15 quid or something from them, and then you can get our discount on top of that, and it works out so much cheaper.
Awesome.
And I'm Martine, so hi.
And I'm Ollie.
Hi. Bye.
Everyone with the cast does. Is there anything you yourself would like to plug? Starting with Eddie.
Oh.
Do you do any art? You do any?
Oh no. No, thank you though. I don't know. I'll leave off with Dungeon Drugs. Why not?
Oh, I don't do anything. This is literally my life. My social life is D&D. So yeah, that's it.
Your campaign of what?
Don't. No, this is separate.
No, again, this is sort of my life as well. So yeah, check us out. Tales of the 20-Sided. We're just idiots that sit around and pretend that we know what we're talking about D&D and other things, and see when we're back up on Twitch getting the chats and all that stuff, we will join in with the chat. Anything to actually not play the game, we will do it.
You think we hate it, please?
When are you getting back?
Oh, we're back on early December, we're hoping, because then our DM Lou, he'll have his internet up and sorted by then, so we're hoping to get back into our regular schedule, our regular TV schedule by that point, and then we'll be back.
It's a really good chance, a really good time to start watching as well. We've got through really interesting.
Caught up on them 20 episodes.
Yeah.
4 hours
Lou
each.
and essentially had like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type elements to where we are currently. So we've all been shrunk in an orchard and we're fighting insects and birds.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it gives it. give you a good chance to catch up on all of our YouTube stuff.
Yes.
And, check out the shorts of us being really, really weird out of context.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to work with us, please, on any of our social media, contact us. We'd love to
Yeah,
meet more
or
people in the community.
Yeah, because this has been really
This has been
fun,
amazing.
and,
Yeah.
It's just been really good to engage with other creators, and we know how hard it can be as a small creator to get your name out there, or really get that engagement. And it's lovely to be able to connect with other little communities in the D&D or TTRPG world in general. So yeah, it is really nice. So it's been really good.
On a last note as well, just in case they're listening to us, hail Sergey.
Oh my god,
yes.
no! It's right. So in our stream, we got hype trained 1 week, and it was just a bunch of people just typing a load of random AI generated bullshit and just saying "Hail Sergey." So now we're part of the Sergey cult because they subscribe to shit on they're yeah, they came back.
We've had 3 hype trains. They give us subscriptions out. They stay for most of it, and I think Lou has now incorporated a Sergey into the campaign at some point in homage.
Yeah. Hail Sergey.
Hail Sergey,
Sergey the belligerent.
Oh my god.
who is a rat, I do believe. He is a
Weasel.
a weasel, an anthropomorphized weasel. And so far, all the imagery of him look like he's from the Crusades.
Alright, well, if you'd like any of this stuff, all that information will be in the text for this episode. It will probably be on our Libsyn page, so penance.libsyn.com. But yes, if you're listening anywhere else. But yes, thank you again for having them on tonight. If you want to talk to them, again, their socials will be included. Please reach out, because I think they're fucking wonderful, and I've enjoyed every second having them on. So, until next time, folks, you all take care. Check these folks out, and catch us all next time. Until then, good night.
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 Bye.